In this section, we're going to be talking about habits. Our habit objectives today are to understand the value and importance of developing useful habits and routines that promote your health and well-being. We're going to learn to recognize what certain routines and habits are no longer helpful and are in fact causing you to do harm to yourself. We're also going to make plans to change bad habits into good ones, one habit at a time. Next, we're going to take a look at habit overview. Pull out the sheet, read through, pause the video, and resume when finished. Habits and routines are forged through repetition. The more you do the habit, the stronger the pathway will become. This is the process of self-reinforcement. As we change routines, new pathways are formed, and old ones weaken. We can convert bad habits to healthy ones, but it takes time and repetition. Sometimes we can change part of the habit to convert it, and others you need to change it completely. Let's take a look at the 3 parts process of a habit. First, we have a cue that triggers the habit. For example, this could be a time of day, a feeling, or an event that triggers this habit. Second is the routine that is enacted in response to the cue. And finally, there is the reward that we receive in return for engaging in the routine. Remember, a reward can be any kind of reinforcement that provides some value to that person. An example of this is when a man would take a break every day at 2 p.m. during the work week, that being the cue. He would go upstairs to the coffee shop and have a cookie, the routine. While there, he would socialize with his friends, the reward. In this example, the man would only need to change part of the habit, eating the cookie, that was making him gain weight. If he chose a piece of fruit, he would change the routine for his health, but still be able to keep his habit and get the reward of socializing with his friends. Let's take a look at habits that our clients are doing now in each cogwheel. We are going to start with protective habits so we can reinforce what they are doing well first. Let's turn to your protective habit identification worksheet. Pause the video and resume when finished. On this worksheet, you will see 2 columns. On the left, there is a row for each cogwheel, and on the right, a place for them to write what habits they are already doing well. If the client cannot think of any protective habits, pull out the sheet that lists the risk factors and protective factors for ideas. Next, we are going to take a look at risky habits and identify which ones we need to work on first. Turn to your risky habit identification worksheet, pause the video, and resume when finished. This sheet is set up just like the protective habit sheet. It will allow us to record the client's risky habits within each cogwheel. This will be a starting point for where you will need to go when working on that specific cogwheel. Both the protective habits and the risky habits can be added to and changed as you go through the cognitive sculpting process with your clients. This is just a place to start. Now turn to your next page, which is the Habit of Architectural worksheet. Pause the video and resume when ready. With this worksheet, we will be breaking down the habits so we can identify the cue, the routine, and the reward for each risky habit. It is important that we understand the exact reward for each habit. In the example of the man, it's a common mistake to assume that the cookie was the reward. However, in this example, socializing was the actual reward. You can use this sheet to come up with modification ideas for each part of the habit. This will allow you to thoughtfully change the habit or the part of the habit that can put the client at risk. In conclusion, you'll be using habits throughout the whole cognitive sculpting process. You can revisit this worksheet at any time that you need to adjust a habit within the different cogwheels that you are working on. If you have any other questions, please let us know and we'll be happy to answer them for you. Thank you so much.